swear, if you would have told me in summer of 2024 that I would be recording a video about Wicked, I would have looked at you like you was stupid. However, here we are. So join me on this journey of living with the magic of Wicked. Things out of the way. First things first, this is going to be a complete thing about Wicked, background on it, review of the first movie, review of the second movie, thoughts, feelings, all of that. One-stop shop. I'm also going to add in a little bit of footage of things that I've gotten, that I've seen, costumes and other little goodies from last year as well as this year when I saw Wicked opening day. With all that said, I will have timestamps everywhere, and I would very much appreciate it if you like, comment, subscribe. Let's talk about it in the comments below. What are our thoughts and feelings about the whole Wicked series? Let's get into it. So yes, I have seen Wizard of Oz and I've seen The Wiz, so I'm familiar with the whole IP of Dorothy and everybody. I'm also from Brooklyn, and I remember when Wicked, the Broadway musical, came out, and I have to be honest, I avoided it like a plague. I was so annoyed with just all the advertisement. It was everywhere, and with me, when things get a little too popular, it actually makes me not want to go towards it. It makes me go the other way and just run like hell. This is no disrespect to the original cast or anybody. I do like Broadway musicals, but it's just when something becomes way too popular, I go the other way, especially if it's something that I'm not really feeling myself. It wasn't really my style. It's cool, like Dorothy and everybody's cool, but it's not something that I'm going to be a big, huge stand over and follow everything about it. So what changed my mind about everything was actually November last year early. The elections happened, and I was not pleased with the results. So I'm over here kind of in a shitty mood, honestly. And I was just scrolling through YouTube and the algorithms, and simultaneously as the elections happened, they were also doing press for the first. This is where the whole holding space starts trending. And I'm like, yo, what in the world are they talking about? I really didn't pay much attention to it. Then I actually saw on my YouTube the actual interview where it came from. So I watched it and I thought it was funny, honestly. I thought it was hilarious. I'm glad that they came out now and said that there was a little bit of confusion. Like Ariana was like, I have no idea what was going on, honestly, but they also didn't want to be rude because that's how I took it from the beginning. But I did think that their relationship and just the way that they connected was really cute and adorable. And at the time, I needed to see that because I lost a little bit of hope in humanity. Let's watch a lot of the press tour for it, as well as I'm generally very into movie making and how movies come together. And I knew this was going to be a very big scale movie. So the behind the scenes action was really nice. I was always going to watch the behind the scenes of just movie making in general at some point in time, but I will say that in connection with Ariana and Cynthia's relationship is what really got me to go see the movie. And I was like, why not? Let's give it a shot. It came out during my birthday. I'm a Thanksgiving baby. My birthday was just November 25th. So I usually get all the holiday movies, hence why I started this channel when I did. Okay, the following is my review of Wicked for 1, with me knowing that Wicked for 2 is out, and I have seen Wicked for 2 twice, okay? Wicked for 1 for me is the better one. If you were to, like, let's say you weren't really into it, you were a casual watcher, I would always recommend the first Wicked movie. Definitely is more of Elphaba's story. If you look over here, I have a couple of notes that I want to hit. It's definitely more of Elphaba's story. The songs are a lot better. That's where Defying Gravity is. That's where Popular is. The known songs for I definitely think that it has a higher rewatch value, as well as the soundtrack is a whole lot better. With a few improvements, I shall say, but it's definitely, the first one is a whole lot better. It's Elphaba's story. It sets everything up. It sets the tone. I love it. I do like the first one. I've grown to like it more and more the more I kind of watch it. Ariana and Cynthia are just amazing singers. It's 5 out of 5 for me. So off of the heels of Wicked 1, yes, I was very excited to see Wicked 2, simply because we needed to see the conclusion of this story. I'm coming in as a fully newbie, semi-knowing the story because of social media and pop culture. So I know like the outlines, but not all the details. I do understand there are some things that are different within the movie, as that are different from the Broadway show, that's different from the book, which is the original material. I am fully aware that the original material is a lot darker than what the movie is. So with all that said, let's get into Wicked for Good, my review. So this is from last year, in the first Wicked movie. I saw it at City Walk, so this was their Christmas tree. This is the outside of the movie theater and how they presented it for Wicked. Here is the outside doors. It's so pretty. They really did go all out for Wicked. So on the inside, they had some of the costumes displayed, and this was Fiyero. So at this moment, I'm just looking at them, and later on, I ended up finding out that these were the real costumes. So here's another angle. This is Bach's outfit when they were in Shiz. This is all from the first movie. This is Glinda's Emerald City outfit. And then I had to get a close-up on it because, again, I found out these were the real outfits that were used in the movie. And last but not least, Elphaba. And seeing Paul Tazwell talk about the outfit and then seeing the details up close in person, I was very grateful and pleased. I'm about to set my sights on the theater here at City Walk for Wicked. So we got ourselves a Wicked tree. Actually, I would like to show off the nail. I gotta find how to get these nails because my nails. See, oh shit! You see this? Look at this. That's just Elphaba. Then we got my girl Glinda, done by yours truly. Oh, I really did eat these up. Oh, okay. I'm about to go watch it. Another close-up of the tree. I'm getting my vlog on. You know how I get around my birthday if y'all really know me. Oh, this is so cute! Oh. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So this is how the front of the doors looked for Wicked for Good. As you can see, they definitely did change it up, but it's still really pretty. In the previous clips, you saw the tree that they did for this year. It's more Wicked themed as opposed to 2024. I don't know why I was shooting like this. I apologize. I'm so weird for this. Showing off the nails that I did for the occasion. This was Elphaba and that's Glinda. You'll see him again. Alright, because I love y'all. I'm about to spoil y'all a little bit. Look at this shit. Oh. Very grateful and blessed to see this. I'm so grateful and blessed. Very grateful. Look at the craftsmanship. I gotta see if I can catch the craftsmanship. It's stellar in person. It's, oh my God. The detail. And of course the new Glinda dress. I'm so glad they brought the dress in. I did say I wanted to see this in person. I definitely manifested this.
Very grateful. And here's the best part. It's the real ones. Oh, look at her. Like, yeah. I can see Cynthia wearing these with that coat. Oh. Again, the nails. Oh, I did a gradual from her first dress to this bubble dress.
Wicked for Good is definitely more of Glenda's story. It is definitely more of her evolution. It is of her realizing her privilege. It is of her questioning everything and trying to do the proper things and actually be a good person. Because Shorty really was living in her privilege in that first one. Like, I'm not going to hold you. That first watch, I did not like Glenda because I was still in my feelings about everything that was happening. I did not like Glenda because there's a lot of people in this world that act like Glenda. First part Glenda. And they want to be Elphabas, but nah, y'all really Glendas. Like, a lot of y'all need to check yourselves. Like, this whole Wicked series is actually a lot more political and deeper than I think a lot of people realize. They hide it between the music and everything, but deep, the actual lessons of this is actually things to take away. But getting back to the Wicked 2 review, yes, it is way more Glenda's story. My favorite song for Wicked is definitely No Good Deed, and that whole sequence. I also liked their little cat fight. And when she like slapped her and then like Glenda's actually, she got a little bit of, satisfaction out of it. Some good acting on Ariana's part in that particular scene. I also loved Fiyero and Elphaba's duet. I have to double check the rating for this movie, but I believe it's a PG movie. That duet, and I know I've already seen it on social media, there was some complaints about it, but that's because it did this very beautiful thing of showing intimacy, but then also keeping it PG, but yet if you know, you know. And I think that's what a lot of the parents are complaining about, is because we're adults, so we know all the other things. I have heard that on Broadway it's a lot more how do we put it? It's a lot more in your face that they like each other and they want to make out, let's just say that. But this one had a more sensual feel to it. Like, it was still very magical, but then also sensual and intimate. They had a great chemistry. Cynthia and Jonathan had great chemistry, and I think that's what really came through. That's what people are seeing, that's what people are feeling, that's why people getting their panties all up in a bunch. I thought it was gorgeous and beautiful. I will say I did cry. The whole For Good sequence does make you cry. Because I feel like, especially if you've watched the press tour, you've kind of followed the Cynthia Erivo and that whole journey, it was almost like they were living it in real life simultaneously. I don't know when they filmed what. I know they did say that they filmed it simultaneously at the same time. So like the beginning of the week will be part 1, and at the end of the week will be part 2. So I don't know and it took months to do. So I don't know within all that they filmed the For Good sequence, but it really felt like it was a proper goodbye. It was the proper closing of said movie. I personally started crying once they did the split screen. So they do the whole song, I'm pretty good, okay, yeah, they're sad. Once they do the split screen, it's like, no, Glenda has to be in the closet and practically see Elphaba go away forever. And then you see Elphaba on the other side, like Elphaba and Glenda. Oh, these are my nails. I did them myself. Check out Glamour Siren if you want to see more. I'll link everything down below. Anywho, it's like those split screen. It was just gorgeous, and I started crying. That's when the tears fall. Yeah, For Good, that whole sequence, it was very nicely done. Other compliments that I want to touch on: Cowardly Lion. Coleman Domingo did a really good job. I did not recognize that it actually was Coleman Domingo. Like, everybody kept saying it was him, but I'm like, it really doesn't sound like him. Come to find out, he has done some other voice acting, so great on that part. I actually didn't understand why, though, the lion has so much smoke for Elphaba. Because if you remember, it was technically Fiyero who took him out. Elphaba did put everybody to sleep but Fiyero, because she did want to help him escape. But it was Fiyero that took him out the cage, and then they end up in the forest. So I don't know why in the world the Cowardly Lion is blaming Elphaba for everything. That's just me. If someone wants to fill that little space in, let me know down in the comment section below. Let's get into the Tin Man. The Tin Man / Nessa, that whole... Ooh, Nessa was petty for putting that whole thing. You cannot blame Bach for being mad at Nessa. You really can't. Because how you going to put, just because you mad, because he's not, I forgot what it was called. I think it's like unrequested love. I'll put it somewhere in the, correct myself. Just because he don't love you back, you are literally going to ban all Munchkins from leaving? That's just rude and wrong. So yeah, I completely understand why Bach was so mad at Nessa. However, I wonder if Ethan was filming Gen V at the same time, because spoiler, if you watch Gen V, well, it's all episodes already out, he plays a villain in that one. So I wonder if some of that villain energy, and he's like a really bad villain, like this villain is evil. So I wonder if some of that energy came over to the Tin Man, because he was nasty dark. Like, there is being mad, but this one was on a whole nother level. Okay, the only thing that kind of messed me up about the Scarecrow, and I've thought about this for a little minute, this is like a week later since the release, I think because we're so used to seeing, if you watch The Wizard of Oz and The Wiz, we're so used to seeing the Scarecrow technically look like a scarecrow, where he has the hat on and they do kind of the smooth skin. Of course, this is all back in the day. I think it kind of messed up our brains just a tad bit. Follow me on this. In the movie, right? We're going strictly off the movie version. She immediately does the spell, the no good deed sequence. She's doing the spell for him to, not get hurt, right? He has to then turn within his whole soldier uniform. So how it looks in the movie technically is correct, I guess, in this sense. But it's just funny seeing him at the end of the movie when he's all changed and it doesn't look right. Like, the hair doesn't look right to me. The face, might be a little bit of CGI possibly, but he did have costuming on too. But I guess if there's any added extra effects, that made it look slightly wonky. It was just little things to the point where I'm like, I don't know. It kind of took me out. It was just a little off. While we are in the space of any slightly negative things and cons, let's get into a few cons about the second part of Wicked. Drink your water. For me, the songs are not as strong. And what I mean by the songs are not as strong, I don't think, unless you're a really big musical theater head, movie musicals, I don't think these are going to be the catchy songs that come up into your head all the time. But outside, like for me, No Good Deed, I can see myself repeating that one. Everything else, even the new songs like Girl in the Bubble and No Place Like Home, I don't think they have a big replayability factor. So that's what I mean when I say the songs are not as strong, in my opinion. And that's all that this is. Next one, I already had a few thoughts on it, but it was a thought that I could get over and it wasn't really that big of a deal. And then recently I found out some information, and this is about Madame Marble and the casting. Now, when they announced that Michelle Yeoh was going to be Madame Marble, I honestly was like, okay, that's a fascinating choice, because I've never known Michelle Yeoh to even be a singer. However, I see why she was cast. And I think it's one of those things with the Hollywood connections. They work together. John M. Chu and Michelle Yeoh work together in Crazy Rich Asians. That's it pretty much right there as soon as I recognize that. That is one of the things of Hollywood, I guess, is friendships and networking. It's not about what you know, it's about who you know and that whole spiel. However, I recently found out that Sheryl Lee Ralph played Madame Marble on Broadway at what point? So she already knows the Wicked Broadway version of it, as well as did audition for the role. Could you imagine Sheryl Lee Ralph as Madame Marble with the movie magic? So think of everything that happened within the movie, but just have Sheryl Lee Ralph in it. Like, come on. All of that. And you know she has that, like, the power that character has, summoning. Like, think about the summoning of the cyclone, but with Sheryl Lee Ralph. Again, this is no disrespect to Michelle Yeoh. We respect the talent over here, but at the same time, this is one of those times where I have a gripe with Hollywood, where it has to be talent over the money. Sometimes you should actually cast based upon talent and who can actually play the role correctly. However, also we have to keep in mind that the leads also asked for Michelle Yeoh to do this. And I believe there is some other information, like at first Michelle did not want to do this at all, but she had to be convinced into this role. If you gotta convince somebody really hard, maybe they shouldn't be doing it. I'm not mad at it. I think if possibly I knew more about the story itself, let's say I was really into the musical and I really knew about the book, then I would probably have a bigger gripe about it. I'm only having a gripe off of the fact of Sheryl Lee Ralph auditioned, has played said role prior to, so technically she has more experience within the role, and you still hired somebody else that really didn't want it. That's the only thing. Like, come on, but at the same time, I get it. I want to get into a little bit of award season predictions. In my opinion, I'm basing this off of particularly Oscars, but I do know that there are way more awards that happen prior to Golden Globes, the SAG Awards, I believe Critics' Choice Awards. There's a bunch of them that happen. So these can go for a multitude of different awards, but I'm basing this more so around Oscars. I would love if this happened, and I do not give a damn what anybody says. Paul Tazwell needs to be nominated and win another Oscar back-to-back. Yep, I need a back-to-back. If nothing else, at the bare minimum out of all of this, I need that man to be a double costume design Oscar holding winner for this whole movie, because it is deserved. Would not mind if John M. Chu actually ends up getting his nominations for director. He didn't get it for the last one. Wouldn't mind if it happens again now. I do think that it will happen because of something else, but that's for another video that I need to work on after this. Remember, if you watched my first video, I said there was 2 movies that were going to have their own separate Ariana videos. Grande, I can fully see getting nominated in supporting actress role. What really going to happen is a flip of last year. So, like I said, last year I felt like Ariana Grande, although she was good at acting in it, I didn't think it was really her story, and she did big, like singing wise, yes, but acting, This one, I feel like she carried more weight, so her nomination this year, I would feel, is way more deserving, and I can see her potentially getting it depending upon the other nominations. However, Cynthia Erivo, okay, I don't know how y'all want to count this. I don't know how we want to count this. She's actually kind of a wild card. I fully believe that if she was going to get an Oscar, it should have been for Wicked last year, the first movie. This, even though she's singing her behind down, I don't think Oscar-wise it's her performance. I don't think this would be, if they get nominated. If she gets nominated, I think it's purely because they're a pair, and it would kind of be messed up if Ariana got nominated and not Cynthia. But do I think that this particular performance is as strong as like the Best Actress? Not necessarily. However, can she get nominated and be on the credits for Best Original Song? If No Place Like Home or No Good Deed gets nominated for Best Original Song, yeah, she should win that. And I wonder if that's how she gets her Oscar. So she gets her Oscar not necessarily by a acting role, but by her music, which, I mean, no matter what anybody says, yes, she can act, but she can also sing her behind off. Some other awards, like their cinematography, or like the kind of the background awards, I can't think of all of them right now, screenplays, things like that, I can see Wicked getting nominated for a lot of those as well. Whether or not they would win it, I think it might be a sprinkling, various different ones they could get the Oscars for. However, the only one that definitely needs to happen is Paul Tazwell. Definitely. You've seen the footage. If you've been watching for this long, appreciate it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on all of this. But yeah, definitely needs to win that Oscar. In conclusion, will I ever see the play? Presently, at this time, for me, no. If I were to be I'm not going to go out of my way and purchase tickets. It's not on my radar like that. No, not necessarily. Let's say I was gifted tickets. Oh yeah, I would go and just pray that Elphaba was black, because for me, honestly and truly, it does make a difference with Elphaba being black. I've seen that she is recently, but I don't know if that is a permanent change or if that is just due to the popularity of this whole Wicked saga going on. But once all of this dies down, are they going to revert back? Or are they going to do like a switch up, and you just never know? For me, I would like to see the show with a black Elphaba. Simple as that. As far as the movies, if somehow, I believe they did do it already out here in LA, but if there is another back-to-back viewing where you play part one, part two, probably an intermission, and then do a part two, probably at like an Alamo or someplace else, if they do a sit down. And if I have the time and the resources, I would love to do it and see it in movie theaters like that. One day just back to back. Maybe I will feel differently and have some other additional thoughts. If not, I'll just wait for both of them to come on streaming and do my own little Wicked private viewing back-to-back watch party. And maybe I might have a few deeper thoughts. However, I may get into the book. All in all, when it comes to Wicked, this has been a fun little adventure to get into, a little nice fandom to explore, especially in these times. I am a fan of the movies, and like I just said, I may explore the books. I know that goes into a really long, there's multiple books in this whole series. So we shall stand, no. However, it has been nice to have something to get into, both the press tour, behind the scenes, movie musicals, parts. It got a lot of us all together in the movie theaters, which hasn't been happening a lot lately. It's been fun to see all the different drawings and what happens on social media and people recreating the dresses. I myself have done nails for it. If you are interested in more nail work, I'm going to share my page, Glamour Siren Nails, as well as my Instagram somewhere on these cards, as well as in the description box below. If you've made it all the way to the end of the video, you are a real one. Let me know. Leave a pink and green heart in the description, in the comments below. Let us talk about what are your thoughts, what are your feelings about this. If you've seen both parts, if you've only seen one part, do you plan on seeing both parts? Are you a movie musical girly? Are you from Broadway? Are you just one of the stands that know everything? Let's talk about it respectfully. And until next time, be kind, be safe, and spread love. It's the human way. Peace.